Welcome to SF Garnish Music Production. My name is Justin Anchetta, and I'm joined here with Alex Scammon of SF Garnish Music and Soul Graffiti Studios. How are you doing, Alex?
Doing all right, thanks.
Awesome. So I just want to introduce what we're doing here. For all you people at home during the pandemic, I know there's a lot of focus on online Zoom calls, and we're doing that with our classes at SF Garnish. And some of Alex's research and work has made these videos look as they do right now. So what you're looking at right now are two DSLR Canon T5 or T5i cameras with a 50 millimeter lens. And we're plugged in to our computers through USB, and we're running OBS and we're running Zoom, and our cameras are working. And Alex, how is this working out for us?
Well, there's a bit of complicated magic, and I'll walk us through how we're doing it. The normal way, and can you see my screen here?
Yes, I can.
Cool. The normal way is that you have to buy a piece of gear named Elgato or Camlink or Blackmagic or something that takes the HDMI out, takes clean HDMI out and puts it into the computer. But we're not doing that. We're not going HDMI. We're going USB. And we're on a Mac and can't use SparkoCam, and so there's a different way. What we're going to talk about is this little diagram here. We're going from the camera to this magic thing called Camera Live. And then we can do two things. We could go either CamTwist or we could go OBS. And from there, we can go to Zoom and QuickTime and other devices, other applications like that. So I'm going to walk you through how this goes. The first thing is that you take your camera and you plug the USB camera into the camera, and then you plug it into the computer. The next thing that you got to do is get this V002 Camera Live application. And currently it says it's only working with Canon cameras. There's a list of cameras that it says it supports. However, I've been looking at some of the comments from community members who report that there are some other cameras that have been tested and work. So if you are on a Fuji X-T1, X-T2, X-T3, X Pro 2, or the DSC RX100 by Sony, those apparently have been tested to work as well, but they haven't been updated in this project yet. So mostly Canons, but with a few maybe other additions. You get this application. You go to the releases page. There's a link down in the text, or you can go to the releases page here. There are two pre-releases, 12 alpha and 13 alpha. Justin and I had a little trouble running those. So what we would recommend is just running the latest stable release, build 11. You click on camera.live.zip, you download it, you unzip it, you install it. And when you run it, you will get this little tiny application. It's very simple. And all you do is when your camera is plugged in, it will show up here and you will click on your camera. It will say starting, it will take over your camera, and it will say active here. At that point, you've got what's called a siphon server, and we're at this first junction in this diagram, camera to camera live. So at this point, we can go either one of two ways, and I'm going to show you CamTwist first. It's another free tool. You just come to CamTwist homepage, click download, download it, do the normal install process. And then when you fire it up, there are a few things that will show up here. What you want is to take this siphon, because we've set up a siphon server already, and you're going to just double click it, and siphon will show up here. Did I kill my screen? And then you will show, you will take the siphon server and you will select Camera Live. So you're pulling from Camera Live, and into CamTwist, and that's all you have to do. The other thing you might like to do is save the setup and then click on Canon Camera Live. This is what I've saved it as, so save setup. Let's save it as another one, too. And if you want that to auto load every time, you can select it and hit auto load. This will start up every time you start up CamTwist. I'm going to just delete this one and then auto load just the one that I had before. Okay, so now we're in the second phase here. We're into CamTwist.
Now, Alec, in that location, did you do the preferences change yet?
I didn't. I was going to come back to that. So
okay.
The other thing you might like to do in CamTwist, if you plan on using QuickTime, there are some preferences. And you should set the frame rate to your camera's frame rate. I have it set to 30 frames per second. For QuickTime, I have it, the default, I think, starts off at 640 by 360. And so if you were using CamTwist to send this to QuickTime, it would be a very low resolution. So you can bump that up to 1280. You can also go custom and put in 1280 by 1920 by 1080. I've just set it to 1280 by 720. You can do what you want here. There's a little note that says after changing this, you should restart CamTwist. So you can go ahead and do that. But the essential thing here, in terms of getting it to zoom, is that we've got our camera going to Camera Live, and then we've got Camera Live going to CamTwist. And then the final piece is when we come over to here. I'm just going to make this a little smaller so you can see it. Come over to zoom. Dun, dun, dun. Yes. Give me the controls zoom. There we go. Then you can select CamTwist as a camera. And essentially what we've done is we've taken Camera Live, takes the feed from the camera, creates what's called a siphon server. CamTwist takes the siphon server and is a siphon client, and then creates a virtual camera. And then Zoom uses that virtual camera. It shows up here as a virtual camera that you can use. So that's one way. There's a second way that I'm going to show you if you prefer to use OBS, and we do generally here. So I'm going to pull up OBS, and what I've got is the same sort of a thing. You can come in here and say, let's do siphon setup 2. And then OBS has a siphon client as an option that you can choose instead of a video capture or window capture or anything like that. Just choose your siphon client. I'm going to just create a new one just so you can see it. And then you'll see that Camera Live, coming from my Canon M50, shows up as because the siphon server is serving it. So I click it. You can now see me in OBS. I'm going to enable preview so that you can see me again. And now OBS has it, but it now needs to create a virtual camera so that you can use it in Zoom. And there's yet another piece of software that you need to do that. And there's another GitHub project by John Wiles. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce the last name. There's OBS Mac Virtual Cam, and it's just a plugin for OBS. Come down to installing. There again is a releases page where you can get the latest release. There's no alpha releases or anything like that at the moment, so it's pretty straightforward. It's just the latest release. You download this package, you go through the normal install process, and then you have the plugin. You'll have to restart OBS. But once you have that, then I'm going to shift the Zoom window over just a little bit. Can you see tools here, Justin?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Great. You'll be able to see Start Virtual Camera will all of a sudden exist after you install this plugin. And once you install that plugin, once you start it rather, then you have a virtual cam, just like CamTwist set up. So we can go back to Zoom, and assuming that it gives me my controls, there we go. You will have OBS Virtual Camera device as well. So I can switch to that, and you should be seeing me through the OBS Virtual Camera. I've got two virtual cameras going here.
Okay, we actually don't see your controls of Zoom. For some reason, it blocks that out with your screen share. It's probably a preference thing.
Got it.
But I think what you described kind of tells everybody that you were pretty much changing your camera preference to a different source, right?
Yes, totally. That's funny that you can't see the Zoom thing, but yes. I wonder if you can see.
Yes.
Can you see these settings?
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
So drop down, there's either CamTwist virtual camera or there's this OBS virtual camera device. CamTwist also does this funny thing, just as a note. There's this 2VUI virtual camera. It's virtually the same. It uses a different color pixel mapping thing. Just choose CamTwist. Ignore the 2VUI unless you know that you want it.
Now, Alex, I have a question for you. Is it possible to share with people the difference between the FaceTime HD camera and the camera that you have right now? Or is that too revealing of your backdrop?
No. It's just that my laptop is closed up over there, and
so it wouldn't connect.
It would be a mess to try and get it set up here.
Okay.
But it is terrible. It's like a camera that they haven't updated for the last 10 or 12 years. It's been the same crappy camera. It's terrible.
Yeah.
So
it's an amazing difference, this camera upgrade that you just walked us through. And hopefully all those people out there, even the SF garnish or the New York garnish, the different locations, LA garnish, you guys can all do this. We're also going to do another video in the future where we can do a wireless virtual camera using Uriun, which is IRIUN. Maybe, can you bring that up, Alex? Maybe this could just be our segue to the IRIUN Uriun webcam for Mac. And if you guys get this, it actually creates your iPhone to be a wireless device. So we've already tested this out, and you guys can just download the webcam for Mac if you have a Mac or the Windows version. And this will allow you to focus your second camera on your push 2, on your DJ device. And if we are through the summertime, this is a possibility that the quarantine might last longer than June, July, then we can still do our online DJ courses at SF Garnish and hopefully the other locations. So just want to put it out there.
It's true. Normally we're talking about music stuff, but we've been forced to learn all this stuff about video. Do you want to do a bonus round?
What's the bonus round?
Well, bonus round is just getting sort of crazy with the flows here. So I showed 2 different flows, 2 different ways that you could get to Zoom or QuickTime going via CamTwist or OBS, right? Now, you don't have to do it that way. You could, just for fun, we could do it this way. Let me see if I can show this for you. Zoom is being a little funny.
We're seeing the diagram right now.
Yeah, I was just trying to get it a little bigger so that we could see it. There we go.
Okay. Nice.
So instead of going from camera to camera live to CamTwist straight to Zoom, I'm going to do something funny where I'm going to go to CamTwist and it sets up a virtual camera. OBS can receive a virtual camera just the same as Zoom can. So I'm going to do this thing where I'm going to go from CamTwist's virtual camera into OBS, which is another virtual camera, and then to zoom, just to sort of show the flexibility of what's going on here. So we've got camera to camera live to CamTwist already set up. I'm going to go over to OBS, and instead of doing the siphon server, let's just create another scene here. Instead of the siphon client, I'm going to go to video capture device. And then I'm going to go to CamTwist. So it's all kind of the same. I'm just going from one thing to another. And at this point, I've got, as I showed here, I've got camera to camera live to CamTwist to OBS to zoom. I suppose I could maybe go back to CamTwist and then to, like, maybe do some crazy things like that. But I'm just trying to make the point that with these virtual cameras, you can do all kinds of interesting things, go different directions.
Totally. It's like routing sounds.
So,
we're routing the visual.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. This is just the visual, and we have microphones set up separate from this. Now, that's the one key difference from this approach from the HDMI approach. The HDMI actually carries the sound with it, so it has some advantages. The video and the audio will be synced up, and in this universe, you may have to adjust for some latency, but it is also cheaper than buying the HDMI device that you need to make that all work. So it's up to you. You have this option.
Totally. And can you just stop sharing your screen for a second? Because I want to just share our faces with everybody. Cool.
Sure.
Yeah, the Zoom room. All right, so what you guys are looking at is the two Canon T5s. And like Alex said, this is a way...
Oh, no. I have slightly different. I have the Canon M50.
The Canon M50. Okay, so definitely it's a Canon product. It's how much was your Canon camera? I'm just kind of curious, price-wise.
I think it was 400, just a little over 400.
Okay, cool. So this is a way that people can bypass all of these different purchasing of gear. There's the C922 that's been sold out for about almost 2 months, and it finally just came into stock. And people could literally just take their phones and use their phones in a Zoom call using Urian, or you can take your camera that you use for shooting video or photos and do a Zoom call and not have to pay for any other device. All the software that Alex just walked you through is totally free through GitHub and other sites. And Alex, is it possible for us to put this on our YouTube in the description? Can we put all these links there so that people?
Yeah. I'll put all the links because it will be complicated to find them otherwise.
I've been really appreciating that when I go to different YouTube pages and they're like, just go right down here on the visual and here's the exact breakdown of what we just talked about. So
yeah, really
awesome, dude. That was great. It wasn't too long of a post, I think. And we're just going to go out with a little bit of our logo here. This is SF Garnish Music Production and Soul Graffiti Studios featuring the Alex Garcia Scammon. My name's Justin Anchetta, and we're grateful to be here with y'all. Cheers.